have more firmicutics, there is obesity. Basically, there have been many studies where we have linked the gut microbiota with obesity, and we developed information where these these strains had high bile salt hydrolysis activity and cholesterol degrading activity. We did a clinical study and we found that it significantly led to a decrease in the body weight. This is on skin. Really, when you look at the skin, there is again so it consists of diverse microbiota, and most important is Staphylococcus aureus, which when there is dysbiosis, it increased colonization of that and lead to different conditions like atopic dermatitis, psoriasis, acne, rosacea. So after many studies done the probiotics, and there is an interplay between any infection and gut. Probiotics do have a role in defense, and it could be either through directly attacking the pathogen, the slides, or it could be through the process of anti-inflammatory, different mechanisms. And over here, when you look at the slide, you see that those patients who were high infectivity patients, where there was an increase in different microorganisms like the Collinsellia, etc. Whereas those low infectivity patients who were not susceptible to COVID, but those which had another set of microbiota in their gut. So how does one help restore a biotic gut state? There are different strategies. One is through, of course, this is very new. I mean, it's still not being practiced. I do see a few studies on fecal microbiota transplant. And apart from that, one would be through prebiotics, which are just fibers, which the probiotics utilize for growth. So basically, a probiotic can utilize a prebiotic, which is a fiber. And in the earlier presentation, all the different prebiotics were also discussed. So one could be to restore a healthy gut microbiome. It could be through probiotics, prebiotics, a combination of pro and prebiotics, which is symbiotics, or it could be postbiotics. Postbiotics are nothing but inactivated or dead cells, whereas probiotics are live microorganisms. So when you say postbiotic, again, it could be either a heat-killed or a dead probiotic strain, or it could be some of the metabolites which are produced from the probiotics. And the different, okay, so what is the mechanism of action of probiotics? Basically, they compete with pathogens and they have a better adhesion potential. So they compete with the epithelial sites and they can displace, even if there's a pathogen which is attached to the epithelial cell, they can displace it because they have higher binding affinity to the epithelial cells. And they also produce different metabolites like bacteriocins, which could be, or antimicrobial peptides, lipopolysaccharides, and also apart from that, they can also produce hydrogen to bile. It should be resistant to acid because it should be through the acidic milieu of the stomach to reach the colon where it proliferates. And apart from that, it should also be safe. That is very, very important. So most probiotics are generally regarded safe. And what we also do is we do the antibiotic sensitivity and resistance testing to check as microorganisms. You would think that because when you give an antibiotic, it would be sensitive to most antibiotics, but that's not the case. When we do an antibiotic profiling, and we find that some of our probiotics are resistant to some bacteria. So if it is resistant, again, we should establish the safety that the antibiotic resistance which is there in the probiotic strain should not be conferred